Hello everyone and welcome to the latest GI Huddle interview on Gambling Insider. By now you would have almost probably heard about the cancellation of this year's G2E in its physical format. This also means Gambling Insider Global Gaming Awards will take place virtually. But to find out more about the decision, because it is big news, we're here for an exclusive Q&A with Korbi Carrison, G2E Event Director, and Allie Barth, SVP for Industry Relations at the American Gaming Association.
Thank you, Tim.
Yeah, thanks for having us, Tim, and covering all the good news that you do for the gaming industry.
No problem. It's obviously a busy time for you both, and it was naturally a huge decision to cancel G2E, but one that obviously had to be made due to safety concerns amid the coronavirus pandemic. My first question is, how much of a part did recent casino closures and recent spikes in positive cases have in the ultimate decision to cancel the event?
You know, it's the ultimate decision on canceling the event is really driven by the uncertainty that the first global pandemic of our lifetime has created. And it was a process that we've been undertaking for many, many months, frankly, since the outbreak initially in Asia in January. And so it's a process that we've been undertaking for some time. And the impacts of this global pandemic influenced our decision making. The economics. It's no secret that all economies are suffering through this, and the gaming industry is not unique or immune to the economic hardships that the global pandemic has created. The travel restrictions, the quarantines, especially for a global audience, which G2E typically has, were definitely factors. And just continued unknowns about the impacts of this virus. We were chatting earlier, it changes every day. And so to really provide certainty and stability for our key stakeholders, we made the tough decision through a thoughtful process that this was the right thing to do this year.
Mm-hmm. So it certainly couldn't have been an easy decision. But in the absence of G2E this year in the physical format, what kind of virtual alternatives are you exploring?
Yeah, so we're still exploring and finalizing virtual plans. Obviously, we have some clarity as show management and organizers and planners on what the future will hold. We knew it wouldn't be the same as years past. 2020 G2E would not be the same as years past, but we were contemplating a variety of options on what it could be. Having the certainty with the cancellation of in-person allows for us to better dedicate our time and attention to the virtual component. We're honing in on exactly which technological platform we're going to use, but we've long held an interest in making G2E a 365 year-round program that serves the industry, that delivers on some things that I hope and trust the industry has seen, particularly in recent years, which is really differentiating G2E in terms of content and delivery from other industry trade shows. That will continue to be a component of what you see to G2E Virtual in 2020 and perhaps beyond. Just really different, high quality content, speakers, really powerful platform for connecting the industry to conduct business, to network, to share best practices, which are so essential now more than ever, and to, I hope, better unify the global brand of G2E. In addition to G2E Las Vegas, we've got a huge gaming market with G2E Asia, which has traditionally been held in Macau and which last year expanded into the Philippines and Manila with great receptivity. And we hope that moving to virtual will allow for increased participation from truly the global gaming industry for 2020. And again, I hope beyond, that you're seeing more and more G2E virtual content delivery, awareness, connections, business opportunities from this point forward.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned G2E Asia there, and obviously there's plenty of other shows on the calendar, and some we've lost this year in terms of also tribal shows like NIGA. How long do you foresee this kind of the trade show calendar remaining in this virtual form and without physical meetings?
That's a difficult question to answer, because none of us has been through a pandemic before. The virus clearly has been unpredictable, and we really, it's hard to say. So what we can do really is look forward, first reflect back on our experiences and say, we can't predict anything, but we can plan. So we can plan forward, and in planning forward this entire time, as Allie mentioned, it's been a long process of evaluating the safety and viability of G2E, but along the way, we knew that we wanted to have a virtual component to G2E. So now being fully focused on that virtual component, like lots of other industries have, and certainly we've seen some other gaming events focus on virtual platform, we're taking that as an opportunity. And of course, we would love to be back face-to-face with everyone, but we need to take this opportunity and say, how can we continue to connect our industry in the near future? And I think that we've got some neat things that we can do. Certainly we can engage with speakers worldwide who maybe wouldn't be able to come to Las Vegas in person for a G2E, and we can tap into the diversity that's there and expand our message truly globally. But also we've got the opportunity to reach a lot of people who otherwise wouldn't be able to travel to Las Vegas to attend G2E and to experience not only the education but networking opportunities that certainly will be different in a virtual environment, and to experience what our exhibitors have to offer. And again, that's going to be very different. There are not every element of a face-to-face trade show translates equally over to a virtual platform, but we really want to take advantage of the ones that do, and kind of get creative with the ones that may not translate over as well. But for us, the important thing is really connecting people in the industry and helping business continue, as it's been very difficult across the board for both the operators and the industry suppliers. So that's really a really high priority for us.
And I just add to that, Tim and Korbi, I think it was the end of May or beginning of June that you heard on Microsoft's kind of stakeholder call this statement, which I'm sure I'll butcher, but I'll try to recall. We've seen 3 months, multiple years of technology adoption. The technology's always been there, but this global pandemic has forced global adoption. We've got 80-year-old grandmothers learning Skype and FaceTime and all of the other Zoom and virtual meetings, and would have never imagined that before really we were forced to. And so I anticipate, as Korbi said, the meetings industry, the convention and trade show industry will continue to evolve and become more high tech. And frankly, the gaming industry and the exhibitors that you see at G2E are so high tech that we've got a leg up on how we can really be successful in doing that.
No, sure. There's been a lot of digitalization, as you say, a lot of increase in technology. And on that note, what course of action would you advise sort of other trade shows that might be in a similar position, and particularly sort of smaller gatherings within US gaming that wouldn't be as big as a G2E and wouldn't have as many attendees?
Right. Well, we all face the same challenges when planning live events, and certainly we have learned a lot. We can speak from our experience and maybe call out a few things that may be useful to others, but first and foremost, you need to be in tune with the officials, the public health officials, who are best knowledgeable on what's happening with state, local, and federal regulations and different things that happen daily with learnings about the virus. You need to be in touch with those people. They are the experts, and they can best advise on that. But one other thing that I would certainly underscore is communication. We've been in communication with our stakeholders all along. It's been a challenging time for everyone with business differences and not being fully functional, certainly, but the communication with our constituents, both the casino operators and the gaming suppliers, has been really, really critical. And keeping them tuned in on what we're thinking, bouncing ideas off of them constantly has been really helpful as we navigate the decision-making process. As I mentioned earlier, we can't predict anything, but we can plan. So we did a lot of planning on alternate routes that we could take. We internally at Reed, we formed a health and safety task force that not only taps into what's happening with officials, but it helps us kind of in the back of our minds say, okay, when it's time for us all to come together again, what does it really look like? Because things will be different. Things are different everywhere we go now. We've focused a lot on what does the in-hall experience look like? What happens even before you enter the hall? How do you receive your badge? How do you make sure that people are healthy? Not only attendees coming in, but the exhibitors that come in advance. So there's a lot of pre-planning that goes along with that. It's a pretty extensive process. And then when you're on site, keeping everyone safe, having facilities available to be able to wash your hands, to sanitize, to have masks, all of those things that we've learned have been very important in reducing the spread of this virus. It's really important to keep in mind and to communicate not only with the folks who are going to come to your event, but with the venue and also with the contractors and the vendors that help you put it all together. They all have their health and safety standards in place as well. Las Vegas Sands has been a really great partner with us, as have our other contractors. And they early on put health and safety standards in place and publicized that. So I would say you can't over communicate when it comes to helping people understand what your health and safety precautions and requirements are. And there are a lot of ways to do that, of course, in this electronic world. But people need to know what's going on in advance and on site. So that's something that you can't understate.
Yeah, I just add, Tim, I mean, AGA is the leading gaming trade association for the U.S. gaming industry. And that communication point that Korbi mentioned and just running a good process was critically important to us. We talked to other associations in town as they're evaluating and grappling with the same challenges about their conferences or year-end conventions and shows. And I really think listening to what your industry wants, what makes the most sense for the industry is going to be the appropriate answer for any industry. Nobody wants Las Vegas to get back to business as usual more than us, more than the trade association for the gaming industry. But it was through communication with all of our key stakeholders and really our member exhibitors that made us realize the most responsible thing for us to do right now is to take a year in person off. And I just say that testament to responsibility, that commitment to responsibility, is really a testament to what you can come to rely on from the gaming industry. We prioritize the responsibility through health and safety, through economic livelihood for our employees, for our customers, and for our communities like Las Vegas. So we are hopeful that this will be a temporary interruption and that Vegas and other meetings and conventions throughout the world will get back to businesses as soon as it's safe and as soon as it feels appropriate for each individual industry and company.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. There's plenty of good advice and plenty of insight you've given into the decision-making process. I'd like to thank you both for lending us your time, and I wish you all the best as well in navigating what remains an unprecedented time for US gaming.
Thank you, Tim. Pleasure.
Yeah, thanks, Tim. Stay well. Take care.
Thanks, guys. To keep up, for our viewers, to keep up with the latest updates on G2E, the Global Gaming Awards, and US Gaming, be sure to head to gamblinginsider.com and gamingamerica.com for the very latest news. As always, thanks for listening, and until next time, goodbye.